All right, let's see. Okay, it looks like we are feeding out to the folks out there. All right, welcome back to the podcast. It's a Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Oh,
So
it's a turbulent Tuesday.
I'm desperately trying to. Okay, there we go. Oh, there you go. If you're joining us live, we're on. Obviously, you know this. We're on Utreon so that we could hold guns. We could do that and not get kicked off, because that's what the YouTubes will do to us. And for the people listening on audio, this is an example of the dagger from PSA. So that's what I'm holding here. I don't know if the dudes are holding any. There you go. Walter's holding something. There you go. He's holding some sort of 7.62 type thing. Babyface is flexing his night vision.
There's nothing in these.
Oh,
They're empty. There's no tubes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go.
I did some horse trading, but there's no. It doesn't work yet.
He just keeps stacking them. This one's for the baby.
Listen. No, that's what this one's for.
Oh, okay. So
the baby's baby.
Yeah, if
That's
you
right,
guys,
right.
if you guys are hearing us loud and clear on the audio, I think that you're hearing us loud and clear. Let me know if there's any issues. We'll cover that here. I'm going to kick this off right now and get it going here. Let's hit the open.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, so let's go. I'm going to throw everyone in here. It's not Free-for-All Monday. It's not, well, we can't really call it Free-for-All Tuesday either, but we're live. Let's get the jazz hands going. Follow, oh, wait, hold on a second. I got this all mixed up. Wait, Patrick goes first, then Walter, then, there you go. We are live.
There's a method to this?
I try to keep some kind of sensible pattern going on here. We are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 937 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. The title is Pistol Brace Amnesty. It's a trap, as
It's a trap.
Asper Warrior said that in the chat earlier. With, of course, you just heard him there, Walther Keller, Safety Harbor Firearms. There he goes. And my friend Babyface P of Babyface P Incorporated, universally all over the world, etc. There you go. So listen, there's a bunch of stuff to get into today, but I want to start with this because this happened since the last time we were on air. So I want to pay our respects here. James Yeager passed over a few days ago. It says here, this is from Truth About Guns, September 2nd, and the headline there is James Yeager, R.I.P. So I do want to take some time here to acknowledge the passing of a fellow gun guy, brother in arms, and I want to extend my condolences to all his family, friends, fans, and folks like that out there. It really sucks. He had ALS from what I've heard and reading that article, and too soon, I guess, is probably the word that a lot of people will say there. But he was one of us. He was a gun guy, and he was a patriot, and he made his mark here in our world. So I feel like we should acknowledge his passing. I don't know if you guys want to say anything. Here,
I never met him, but
yeah,
it's sad. Very sad to see anybody die that way.
Yeah, Night Train says James Yeager was a giant in the gun biosphere. Yeah, man, OG. I saw that on an article somewhere. It said James Yeager, OG gun guy passes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, my condolences out there to all the family, friends, fans, and all that kind of stuff. So it sucks, man. Sucks to be leaving the planet early. So if anyone else has anything, we'll put that up here, but I just wanted to make sure that we did acknowledge that here. So All right. That being said, guys, what's going on? How was your Labor Day weekend? Anyone have anything? Any excitement?
Yesterday I did absolutely effing nothing.
Good on you.
Yes. Yeah.
Besides, well, I had good intentions. I was going to go work. I worked in the van Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was, I'll go back Monday and do some more stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
got up and I watched. I did what I usually do, and I watched what I usually watched, and then I just watched some more stuff, and then I watched some more stuff, and I got hooked into this guy that I forget his YouTube channel. He's got a big YouTube channel, where he was on a nuclear submarine. He got invited on the boat. They went out below the Arctic ice and all this stuff, and he was on the boat for a few days, I guess. Yeah, it was very cool. So
That was that Smarter Every Day?
yes.
Yes,
Oh,
I watched
okay.
those videos. Very interesting videos.
I've been on a Los Angeles class boat, not when it was underway. I just went on just to look around, and then I've been on a Trident, and there's a vast difference between those two boats and the size inside and the size of the boats themselves. But
It's
to
pretty
go
cool.
out in it and go deep and stuff like he did in that, I was like, oh, that's freaking cool. So
Yeah.
um,
That is.
I started watching, and then I had to watch the next one, and I had to watch the next one, and I had to watch the next one, and and the next
Well,
thing.
he did for anybody that hasn't seen it, he did a whole series on being on that boat. He did. Did you watch the one where they burned oxygen? Well, they burned
made
a
oxygen,
candle to make oxygen. How neat was that?
Yep.
So there. Okay, that's cool.
Or
Yeah.
showed how to use the toilet, which you never think too much about.
Yeah, you have to take
there is
a
there is
very fast
procedure.
shower.
Yeah.
It was
anyways.
really interesting. The candle I thought was cool though.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was cool. Yeah.
So that's like an emergency oxygen thing. That's for like,
No.
Oh.
No.
Can
Well,
be.
it can be used as that, yes, but they
Mhm.
burn candles just to create more oxygen, in addition to
Oh.
scrubbing the air and
Okay.
taking out the
Yeah.
carbon dioxide and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So they have oxygen scrubbers, but I forgot what the video was saying. For some reason they're like, we're just doing candles, and it's some chemical. And when I say candle, it's this big around and this tall. It's a big old thing, and they light it off and put it in the cupboard where all the air is being, like the inlet valve for all the air on the boat, and it pulls it in and spreads it out, and it was really neat. I was always wondering how they did some of these things. It was cool.
That's
It's real
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's get a couple of comments in. Obviously, everything goes a little slower here. Cruiseman says his stepbrother died of ALS. It's a horrible way to go.
Yeah,
Night
it's
Train.
not fun.
Yeah, Night Train said James Yeager was 49 years old. And then someone says like it's a terrible disease. There you go. So there you go. Yeah, so that's interesting. Also, someone said about the candle that they do that in planes. Also, I see that in here.
I didn't know that, but it was really neat. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Also, Astro Warrior says, "Well, what the fuck? Why are all these jackwagons crying about retired battleship Texas and a dry? Oh, wait, hang on,
No,
Crying
you're
about
mixing it
trees
up.
Trying about trees when we can burn candles."
Yeah. Okay, that's obviously sarcasm.
Now the battleship Texas that they took in the dry dock for repairs, so that is freaking cool. That thing moving and seeing it in the dry dock and all that stuff. That is freaking awesome.
How old was it? I have to look this up and
It's
look
a
at it.
World
Was it
War.
old?
It's a World War. I don't know if it's a World War One or it was used in World War II, but it was an older battleship, and obviously after World War II they put it in mothballs, and but it's old. It's old.
The interesting thing is the government says that it's not worth its weight in scrap to the military, because of the logistics of trying to get it somewhere where you can scrap the whole thing. So they sell them to scrap companies. I think they sold this to a scrap company for like $1 or something like that.
The Texas was on display.
So there was an argument about this one. Is this one finally on display?
No, this one's on display, and it was going in for. It needed the hull need to have work done on it. There's been
okay, because there's another that they've been fighting over that people were saying they would like to see it as a floating museum, and the U.S. government's like, it's just not worth our time to keep every ship we build as a museum. It's really expensive to maintain them and do everything. But people are like, no, you need to keep it as a museum.
Yeah.
So I there was some back and forth, and there's only one scrapyard, by the way, in Texas, or
for the whole country.
For one main scrapyard that does scrapping of large Navy ships, and that's in Texas. Yeah. Really interesting. I watched the whole thing about it. It's super, super interesting.
DCG 44 says it was on static display in San Jacinto.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, those things are really cool. I think all of that stuff is cool, like the old planes. I could live in a old military vehicle, just like graveyard.
No,
I could just.
Man, I think you're so full of shit. It's coming out your ears.
The idea of it. I need some amenities. Have you been
in a Navy ship like those old battleships and the smell that's in there?
What's the one that's in New York? Isn't that the Intrepid?
Yeah, the Intrepid, the aircraft.
Yeah, the Intrepid is in New York. I've been in there. You know what I noticed? Those people back then were tiny. Those are small people. Back in the days.
We have grown. Americans have gotten taller. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, when I was watching that submarine thing, at the end of one of them, I don't know if Patrick caught this or not. They were during one of these segments. They were talking to a guy who was 6'2" inside a submarine, right? Because that's tall for being a submarine. Mm-hmm. There was another guy in the sub that was 6'7".
Can you imagine?
And they said, "Did you choose this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I chose it." They said, "You hit your head a lot?" "All the time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get shorter.
They don't just stick you on a sub. Like, you have to go and say, I want to be on a sub, and then qualify.
Then they have all the psychiatric stuff.
Yeah.
And
no, for me, hell no. I don't want to be on a sub.
So,
that seems horribly uncomfortable.
Do you guys remember Greg from 2A Gun Show and 2A Commerce? That, by the way, sponsors the show. Greg was a submariner. I don't know if that's what do you call those dudes?
A submariner, yes.
Yeah,
submariner,
he was a submariner, Greg, when he served.
Cool.
Yeah, he talked about that when he was on the show. That's why he's so crazy. You know, that's why he's. You know, hey, listen, that's a good thing. It's a badge of honor. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not an easy gig. And how long do they like go off for? Do they do like 3 months,
Sometimes
6 months? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. They said on the thing that they typically, I think, go for 3 months at a time, but they can do extended stays if they needed to for whatever reason. But after 3 months, it starts getting a little uncomfortable because you can only keep so much fresh food available.
I mean,
so you start eating some stuff that nobody else wants to eat, and it starts getting uncomfortable real quick.
Well, I'm sure they run out of fresh type veggies and stuff like that.
So Asper Warrior says my uncle was a seaman. Then again, weren't we all? And what I was gonna say, is now you know why they burn those candles, man, because. You know, you got to get rid of the smell of all the ejaculation all over that.
I can only imagine.
Jesus Christ!
No, have you? So you got to go watch this. They show the crew quarters. So Devin from Smarter Every Day gets bunked with the captain, and that's obviously the nice guy.
What?
He the regular crew quarters are like 6 guys to a quarter, and it's the size of. I feel like the walk area is the size of my desk. And then it's double bunk, and double bunk, and they switch crew every 12 hours.
And they share those bunks with another person.
And they share, that's the other thing, is it's not just your bunk. You're not the only one farting in there. It's other people's too.
Okay, but nobody's sleeping in that thing at the same time as you, are they?
No.
They switch off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy that was on the boat, the visitor, he stayed with the XO, the executive officer.
Right.
Space. Yeah.
That's like, I remember, what James Bond movie was it? Where James Bond, I think it was Roger Moore, where he was on a submarine and he brought this hot chick with him. Does anyone remember that?
You're the movie expert here.
This is the reference of my life.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bond, we watched last night. We watched Goldfinger, From Russia with Love, and what's the other one?
Dr. No.
What?
Dr. No.
Oh, Dr. No. Dr. No. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like Bond night.
Yeah. You said so. Dr. No, was that the first one? Was it?
Second one, I believe.
That was the second one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was the other guy before Roger Moore. That's when James Bond's wife got killed.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. When I Google submarine, this comes up, which is really cool. Boom! Check that out. Who knows what kind of car that is?
That's Roger Moore's car, man.
Yeah,
that's
but
a Lotus.
It's a Lotus.
Lotus
yeah, look at that.
Lotus Osprey or something. Yeah.
A submarine. That was always my dream as a little kid, to have a car that's also a submarine. You know, I mean, it'll happen. I think there's a couple of those out there. They made a couple of those in the real world. I know it happened. Sure. But I think that same one is the one where the hot chick was on the submarine. I'm trying to find it, but I can't exactly find it anywhere. But yeah, I'm sure people have seen that. Someone will tell me which one. 42 Chill says that was an MR2. No,
that was a Lotus Esprit.
Yeah, and MR2s are cool. Respect to.
But
MR2s.
they're a lot smaller than that Lotus, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah. Man, Lotuses are the bomb, Diggy. So there you go.
And Lotus is British too. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You're not gonna have a Japanese car as a James Bond.
Okay, but can I tell you something? Lotus, the company itself, is British, and the body might be British, but those engines are always either Japanese or some other company.
Back in the day, during Roger Moore's time, it was probably all from the land of.
It was a British engine, so it didn't work. It didn't run then.
Well, the wiring didn't work. That's one thing that didn't work. Yeah.
What's the British car company? Are there any that are made in the UK?
Yeah,
right now.
Jaguar used. Not now.
Now,
whoa.
Yeah. What's made the? They
Jaguar?
gotta have something made in the UK.
Jaguar's still in the UK.
Yeah, it's just owned. It just belongs to a Chinese company. It used to belong to.
So is the the little what is it the little car everybody loves?
Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah, Mini. They're made in Britain too.
Yeah.
The Honda Civic and CR-V is made in Swindon. Yeah. Toyota makes a couple. Nissan makes a couple. Lotus
Bentley
makes a couple.
Let's see. Asper Warrior says Bentley and Morgan.
Aston Martin, Bentley Motors, Rolls-Royce, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Vauxhall.
Vauxhall, yeah.
Vauxhall, yeah.
Never heard of Vauxhall before.
Oh,
I think Vauxhall's owned by GM. I think
that's
that's a big company. Vauxhall, yeah.
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 I think I read about Vauxhall once over there.
Caterham, Brian Quick says that's like they make like a little kind of, it's like a lightweight car, sort of a thing. Like for track days.
There's those. I'm not picking my nose. My nose is itching on the bottom. There's there's the those what do you call it? Not specialty cars. Those not kit cars, but all those. They make They only make a few hundred a year, a couple hundred. Yeah,
I call them track cars. I'm not sure what the technical. You always see them on Top Gear, Grand Tour, that kind of thing. Yeah. And there's some motorcycle. Well, do they make motorcycles anymore in England? I don't know. They used to. They used to make.
Yeah, the English used to make the fastest motorcycles in the world.
Yeah, that's the birthplace of the cafe racer. At one time, I was obsessed with cafe racers.
They're awesome. They're really cool.
Yeah,
I used to have an original cafe racer person working for me.
Oh,
Robin.
really?
Remember Robin?
Yeah, the British guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Robin in his youth. He's the same age as my dad. In his youth, they were the first ones doing that stuff with the leather. He raced at freaking Isle of Man.
Oh wow, that's dangerous.
With a leather helmet on and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what happened was once the Japanese showed up with the disc brakes on the motorcycles and the different engines, he said he quit because he couldn't keep up.
I think it used to be the cafe racers versus the mod, like what were they called?
Yeah, mods and the
with the scooters.
The rockers and the mods.
Rockers, yeah. DCG44 says Triumph. Norton. I actually had a Norton gas tank. Yeah, doesn't one of us have a Triumph? I think BFP? Do you have a Triumph?
Yeah, I have a Triumph. I have a Bonneville T100.
Yep. Where's that made though? Is that made in India or?
Oh, that was made in India. Yeah.
India. Okay. Yeah.
Like the Enfields, they're made.
Yeah. Enfield was a big thing for that. Yeah. Cafe racers are sexy, man. You can't beat like nice, sexy cafe racer. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, England makes some stuff. I don't know what they make now. You know.
Still make stuff.
Yeah, they used to be the home of. Used to be able to get good scissors in England. Like
Sheffield, the Sheffield steel mills made a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom used to get those for people here in America whenever she went over to England. She would bring them
Sure,
back.
they were very nice. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, the brands that market themselves as Sheffield are no longer made in England. Those, from what I understand, all of those steel plants all closed down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all gone away. Walter is drinking his tea. Is that made in England or is that made in China?
Oh, it did make China.
Yeah, there you go.
It made China.
Someone said, "Is CCA still around?" And DCG says BSA is back, but I don't know where it's made. There you go.
India, on the American side of things, Indian motorcycles got brought back, and I think they're making them stateside now again.
Yeah, they make them somewhere here.
Oh, okay.
I personally, I love my Bonneville. I would also love to have an Indian or a Harley of some kind.
Like an old school, or the new ones?
I wouldn't mind. I would love to have obviously a new one, but no. If I had all the money in the world, could buy whatever I wanted, I would love one of those World War II. What are they? W something. Those are cool.
WLA.
WLAs. Those are really cool.
Yeah, probably very, very expensive. We got like 8 seconds here, but we're gonna take this break and we're gonna come right back here and we're gonna talk about more stuff. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Do you guys know at one point I actually had a Jaguar? Do you know that? I had a Jaguar.
A Jaguar.
I can see it. You go through cars like toilet paper. I can see it.
Hey, at one point I had a Buick Riviera with the big ass window in the back.
Oh, that's my.
I think I paid maybe all of $150 for that car.
Oh wow. Yeah, I bought Lola a 1996 Buick Riviera. She hated that thing. It was like a big old boat. Do you remember that, Patrick?
Big, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if Patrick remembers
big old boat cars.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if Walter ever saw that either. That was like...
I didn't. Mm-hmm. That was before me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's when we first moved out here. And like I was buying... everything I bought was cash. So I bought Lola like a 1996 Buick Riviera. It was smooth, man. It was just like smooth, you know.
Smooth operator. That's
yeah. But she hated that thing. But you know, Buick Rivieras are nice, man. I wish I could have one of those like old school boat tails on that.
Yeah, that car operated fine. It just at that time that was sometime in the early '80s probably. Somewhere in that time frame, you know, nobody wanted those big cars like that because of the gas and everything else. So,
80s, everything went real small in the 80s, didn't it?
Yeah, well, they pushed not everything, but yeah,
they tried to move to smaller cars for the most part.
And there was a time when a car was 10 years old, it was over, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not like now where people keep cars, run them till the freaking wheels fall off them. I mean, people did that then too, but 10 years old, you had a 10-year-old car. It had close to 100,000 miles. 100,000 miles, it was wore to out. So,
that was a lot for then, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've heard 200 is not unseen or unheard of if you take decent care of your car. If you change the oil on the regular and
you saw what you saw that 2 weeks ago. You were in person with a 200,000 mile, but Suburban.
That's Suburban.
Well, yeah. That Suburban is built on a known, it's a known quality.
That's a solid chassis, yeah.
Yeah, those transmissions and everything last, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
What year is your Suburban, Walt?
It's an '08.
Oh wait, okay, yeah. That's you know. And how many miles did you have when you? Because you bought that used, right?
Bought that fucking brand new.
Brand new. Oh, there you go. Boom.
First brand new car I ever bought. No, excuse me, back. That's not true. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we bought that in '08 right before the economy just went pow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Asper Warrior wants us to give his wonderful wife Elise a shout out. He says Elise is wondering if it's cool to give her a shout out as Shield Bookkeeping. I don't know if there's a website, Asper Warrior. She's still accepting new clients, especially 2A and Freedom people. So there you go.
All
Look
right.
up Shield Bookkeeping if you're in the market
Get yourself over to Shield Bookkeeping now. You hear me? Get it
there you go.
over there.
There you go.
And get it done.
Yeah. And I have actually met his wife. She's awesome. There you go. And Asper Warrior, I was hanging out with him last time I was in Arizona. So there you go. But I think his wife was working at the time.
My 42 Chilled. My grandfather had a 68 Buick Riviera that he rebuilt. He bought it as a wreck and he rebuilt it, and he kept that car inside. That freaking car had a I think it was like a 448 big ass V8 in that thing. That thing was a nice car. When my grandfather died, my uncle took it up north, and I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, those are cruisers, man. They cruise down the road. Nice.
Yeah. So I want to get into some, like, we're in the news section here. Do you guys have news you want to talk about other than, of course?
Is there anything big in the gun world right now?
There is this ATF thing. I mean, that's in our
yeah.
title.
So there's that, but
Not.
In the gun world, let's see.
There's been. I'm trying to think. There's been some lawsuit stuff. 455, 42 Chilled said. Yeah, I don't know if it had a 455 or 425. It's one of those. Buick had some back in the day when Buick and Oldsmobile and all these other automotive companies had their own engine sizes and different blocks and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, okay, back to gun news.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up that article from John, the particular thing from John Crump. Oh, here we go.
Didn't tactical something or other got a injunction against the?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Here's the article I was going to throw up. ATF requests funding for pistol brace Amnesty registration program.
yeah.
Yeah, Amoland News. This is from John Crump. It's on the Amoland News. Amoland News has uncovered information showing that the BATF is planning to force gun owners to register firearms with pistol braces as a National Firearms NFA ATF Form 1 item. The document embedded below was uncovered in a budget justification form the ATF to the Office of Management and Budget, OMB. This form confirms the leaked information Amoland News has heard for months from our inside sources at the ATF. So it goes on to talk about the whole program and what you would have to do, and you guys can look at it, but we're going to talk about it here. I think basically what they're going to do is have a period where there's like an amnesty, and you Form 1 all your guns that have pistol braces on them. Let me see. I'm going to pull something out right here. Yeah. Like that. Right, there you go. So this is actually a SIG brace. SB tactical brace. So you would have to Form 1 all these. What's Walt throwing up there? There you go. That's another one. That's the
tail hook.
Tail
hook on the compact entry stock for the AR-15. Yep.
Yeah. So the plan is they'll waive the fee, and everyone registers their stuff. You obviously got to do all the paperwork behind that and send pictures, etc.
Etc.
Yes. Thoughts, Patrick. You wanna?
I don't even know where to begin on any of this. Obviously, if you can take advantage of it, take advantage of it. But it's illegal and unconstitutional, and the ATF shouldn't exist. Like, what else do you want me to say? I don't know what to say.
No, I think it's bullshit. I think it's all bullshit, and it's like a trap. Yeah, it's a trap. And so, yeah, like we've joked around about it when we've talked about it in the past. Like, oh, I'm just going to register everything as a SBR.
Did you see the picture? No, did you see that they added that you must have a picture included to show that it has a brace on it?
Yeah. The danger, I think, is what Walter wants to talk to now. Go ahead, Walt.
Well, first thing, if you have a pistol, if you have this, you can always turn it into a rifle, 100% legal. You can go pistol rifle, you can't go rifle pistol. Or you can just take the brace off it and go with a regular pistol. No stock at all. No buffer tube. No paperwork, no registration.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Free. It's free. Oh, it's great. Yeah. Well,
nothing's really free, and there is a catch to the whole thing.
Your NFA papered guns are all subject to inspection anytime they like. Anytime they want. And now they know who has all these things too, in addition to everything else.
Yeah, and exactly what you have, right.
Right, and now, okay, once you paper your SBR with your fancy ass rubber brace, and this is not rubber, but Hank's was rubber, then you can take that fucking thing and throw it in the garbage, that rubber piece of shit, and put a regular stock on it. Because it's an SBR, it's NFA now, you can put any kind of fucking stock you want on it.
Right. But the point here.
If you travel with your SBR, you got to let them know.
You got to go through all the
traveling with your FBR.
Yeah. So, I saw Mr. Guns and Gear. I think had a really good. Listen, lots of people have been doing stuff on this. Obviously, John Crump has been talking about this for a while and warning people. We could go all the way back to controversies of yesteryears.
And one last thing too.
Right.
So you okay, Patrick wants to get another suppressor, right? Well, you try to get the suppressor during this amnesty, you're going to be waiting.
About to say,
I'll be.
You know what kind of backlog
today,
you're going to see?
It'll take at least 2 years for you to see your paperwork back. At least 2 years.
Yeah, and I think
more than that. It's a million people come in and start to register their pistoled SBRs,
and they don't send
unbelievable.
They don't fill the paper. They don't fill the paperwork out right. They don't send the pictures. They don't send the fingerprint card.
Right.
Stuff's got to get returned.
You start all over again.
Clusterfuck. Yeah.
So, I think Guns and Gear was talking about this, that they're trying to put all of this off until after the elections and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I think people really need to get out there and vote, and to steal the words of the philosopher Joe Rogan. Vote Republican. I don't know if you guys saw that. Joe Rogan was telling people, like, someone asked him what should people do, and he said vote Republican. Of course, I don't trust all Republicans either.
Right.
We got
the likelihood is better with them than the others.
Yeah.
Let's be frank.
Yeah, but the problem with all of this is these things were legal, right? And we've talked about this 100%, before.
100% approved multiple times.
Yeah, there's multiple letters. There's multiple letters on these. Now, of course, with SB Tactical, they didn't necessarily have letters or whatever. That's what that whole controversy was about. But the spirit of what a pistol brace is was approved by the ATF. Okay, that was approved by the ATF. All right, so let's just. Now, obviously, that one was the old school ugly one that no one liked. But there are other companies that have complete letters, like what Walter is showing there. There's letters on that stuff. So what the ATF is doing here now is backtracking all of that, and they want us to peacefully do that. So that's what's going on here with the amnesty that I think everyone needs to be aware of. If like what was, I think Guns and Gear was saying, there's probably somewhere between 20 and 40 million pistol braces out there.
Let's back up the whole reason behind the pistol brace. It's supposed to be for handicapped folks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I just say let's roll up all the handicapped sidewalks and let's roll up all the rails in the bathroom so you can take a shit and hang on.
Mm-hmm.
There's an argument to be made on that front, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Americans with Disability Act, that is pretty strict.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We're not talking.
So I don't know what they're gonna do there, right? Are they? This is the reason why they're playing the amnesty game with people, and I don't know. I think, like Walter was talking about, you could go to a full rifle. You could also, like on guns like this, you could just take this thing off. You can just take this off, and then it's a pistol.
I happen to sell a regular pistol buffer tube that works just fine with our stock.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is get on your AR. All you gotta do is just get an AR, the tube, and stick the tube on it.
Yeah.
And it's 100% good again until they decide that's not good either.
Yeah.
So
there's a whole bunch of different things going on here, and I think that the ATF is looking for an easy out on this, and we probably don't want to give them that easy out for a lot of reasons. Because if we capitulate to this, they're gonna do this with everything.
Why would we capitulate to this? Who is saying that we should? Is anybody saying we should?
No, I'm not saying that anyone is saying. It's just that, that's part of the thing that's going on here. If Americans just go, hey, they're gonna let me do free, I can get a free SBR.
It's not free.
It's not free, dumbass.
Yeah, it's not free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not.
Look at your line up for your shots again. Remember those free shots that were going to keep you safe? And
they'll run this with everything. They'll run this with everything. And the thing is like, we won't charge you taxes on something you're never supposed to get a tax on.
It sets the precedent that they can renege on their own precedent and change things. It's basically what it's going to do.
But that 40 million, and it's probably bigger than 40 million, because when did we start talking about this? 2 years ago? How long ago was it we were talking about this? 2 years at this point?
Probably.
I don't think I would be. I would have to see some figures that show there's been 40 million new guns put out with braces on them. I'd have to see that. I don't believe that's a very.
Now, I don't think that. Okay, so I don't think that every gun was sold with a brace on it. I think lots of people bought braces. Lots of people bought the pistol braces and put them on their guns. The point I'm making is, let's say there's 10 million or 20 million out there. Don't voluntarily give up this right, because it's going to be used. It's going to set precedent for how they're going to take away other stuff from you and say, "Oh, we'll just give you an amnesty. You'll just register. We can come check up on you whenever we want to. We can look in on you. We'll know who you are. You can't tell us no at the door."
Rainbows and unicorns. It's all good. You're not gonna.
So I would say don't go for it. Just take it off. I've had this discussion with people before. At the end of the day, this is why, like John was talking about this in the past, not to create problems or anything like that, but to just let you know, you keep investing in these things, you might wind up here where you could become a felon overnight for something that is 100% legal for you to do. Okay, that they just decide to take that away. So there is a point where we have to fight it. I know I see Asper Warrior and other people in the chat talking about, hey, I'm handicapped and I should be able to have this, etc. So go ahead.
Aside from everything else, if there was 20 million, if there was 10 million, of those 10 million, maybe 500,000 will know about it. Maybe on a good day. Maybe. So the rest of those folks are going to be tooling around with their brace, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, you're a felon. You're a felon at the stroke of a pen.
And if you live in one of these places where the Gestapo rules, and everything is illegal, you could have a really bad day all of a sudden. And then you can say, "Well, I didn't know. It's like, well, isn't there that? What's that phrase about not knowing about the law? It doesn't matter.
Ignorance of the law does not does not exempt you from the law. The law is the law.
All I'm saying is all I'm saying.
I say don't go along with it. I think it should be fought. I think it should be pushed back on. I think that these guys, what they should do is just get rid of the NFA altogether. To be honest with you, that's what they should do. Just cancel the NFA. It's bullshit. Okay.
Well, look,
that's my feeling on it.
This is this short barrel rifle. So, do I need a short barrel rifle to get things done if I need to get things done? I can't stash this in my pants pocket. Come on.
I don't think it's a question.
The Constitution
right
does not give a rat's hairy ass about crime or any of that.
And barrel length.
Made around that. Barrel length, none of that matters. It doesn't give a.
I think
I thought we
Walter's.
already had-
I think Walter's question is about practicality, though. The reality, though,
Practically,
this is practical in your home for you to move around.
I'm going further in saying that
Yeah.
the reason the ATF is doing this, quote unquote, the only reason they could come up with most likely is, they're used in crimes or they're more dangerous.
No,
I mean,
they're
that
not
to me
used in
is the only way they could possibly do this. You know,
The only reason they're doing it is because Biden told them to do it. That's why they're doing it.
Right.
Bottom line.
I don't think Biden
Bottom
told them.
line.
I think whoever Biden works for told them.
Or when they voluntarily had the meeting with Biden to kiss his ring, they were like, "Hey, this is what we would like to do." Night Train says, "I wonder how many bump stocks which were approved not once but twice by the ATF have been voluntarily turned in."
Very, 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 very minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would-
The
I
only
would-
ones that
very
they've
minute.
really gotten their hands on are from distributors or people who buy and ship them, things like that. They don't.
Yeah.
Your
far
average
as-
everyday person has not been turning them in.
And they're not going to
Well-
get a lot of. They're not going to get a lot of pistol braces from distributors because they've been selling the living crap out of all of them.
It's legal. It's legal.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, well, it's not. It's not. It's nothing that has to.
hear-
It's nothing that has to. That is within the purview of the ATF. But go ahead. Go ahead. Walt.
I hear that and I go, well, guess what? They're legal, and if when that first came out that they were going to go after the braces, some of the distributors sold their braces for half price. Boom, they were gone. I mean, I should have bought some then and resold them, but I didn't. But that's been a year and a half ago.
Yeah. If not longer, yeah. Yeah, Shelly Fungus says, why hasn't GOA or SAF sued yet? Or have they? I'm not sure of all the different things that are out there. I think like they
Yeah,
actually
I'm not sure.
have to have things in effect to sue. This is not in effect yet.
Yeah.
The ATF is like kicking this can down the road, and what we're talking about here is not something that's, hey, you got to go do this tomorrow. They're trying to get funding to do it because it's a lots of money. Imagine 10 million of these, 10 million times $200 for the tax stamps. What is that?
All you
Right.
have to do is, and overnight their system will crash.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
also $200
if
million.
you throw,
Right.
well, they're not going to get the money for the tax
Right.
stamp. They're not
No.
getting that. So overnight they're going to get hit with 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 applications, and their system will crash.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, then they'll have a
It'll be-
reason to hire more people. I mean, listen, I think we should continue this into the next thing. It's, it gets everyone mad here, including me. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Yeah, as DCG44 says, they pushed the publishing rule back to December. So you actually have to get these things come out in order for lawsuits and stuff like that to go into effect.
And what happens in December? Who comes to town in December? Santa Claus comes to town. There's holidays. There's people off. Who's paying attention, right? Who's paying attention?
Yeah, not a lot of people. The elections would have already happened.
They're off on their holidays. They're off doing each other, and here and there and extra. But they're not. Football's in full swing. Come on. Who's paying attention in December? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
That's
these are the old political games.
If government only worked at the pace that we wanted it to work instead of at the pace that they decide is strategically advantageous, things would be very different.
And when does the government go on Christmas like the politicians? When do they go on Christmas break?
They
take
go
like
right
a month
after
out.
elections. Right after elections in November. Once they know their political positions are secured for another 2 years, 4 years, whatever the hell the time period is.
Alaska Gundat says the brace amnesty is a dry run for all semi-autos.
Yeah, we have to push back on all this shit. That's the thing.
What you have to do is you got to. I don't know if it'll make any difference. It used to make a difference, but contact the people who are supposed to represent you and flood their place with your
Yeah.
anger,
Mhm.
and tell them exactly how you feel. Maybe it won't be so nice anymore, and because we tend to be overly nice sometimes,
Mhm.
and and just tell them how you feel, and it's like
Mhm.
But I thought the Supreme Court ruling thing was supposed to help with all this stuff. What's going on with that? I mean,
Listen, this stuff.
Yeah.
Look, this is how a lot of this stuff is full. Nothing is a cut and dry answer. So this stuff that we're seeing here doesn't mean this is what's going to actually happen. It's just what is more likely to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, right? And then the Supreme Court made a decision, but all these states are pushing back on that. So we have to have a punishment phase that we go through in America where the states and whatever other municipalities are actually keeping like gun control. For example, the ruling from the Supreme Court, if you're making it unreasonable for people to get CCWs, you need to be punished. But we haven't answered that. That could be years. That could be a long time here before we actually see that. Look at the rules in New York. You can't. They publish rules of where you can carry stuff.
you can't do it anywhere. You can't carry it anywhere.
No.
Why don't you just
your point?
Why don't you just come out and say you can't carry it anyway, bitch?
No.
Stop your whining.
Basically,
You
yeah.
can't carry it anyway.
Yeah. Did you guys see that video that was out there of like someone using a car in Manhattan to run another car off the road and rob the people?
Oh no, is that recent?
Yeah, it's recent. It's out there. There's just a lot of craziness like that. You could do all these crazy ass things in Manhattan. There's all these stabbings and stuff like that, right, on the subway. But guess what? There's a cop, off-duty cop, beaten almost to death. I don't think he died, in New York City. But guess what? You can't defend yourself. You can't defend yourself on the subway. You can't defend yourself here, there, or anywhere. How long is it going to take to clear all that up, By the way, did you guys see that there was a stabbing spree in Saskatchewan?
No,
Saskatchewan?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. These two brothers went on a stabbing spree. I think they found one of them dead, but they're still looking for the other one. Yeah. I guess he had like an automatic misfire of his knife into himself or something. I don't know. But it just goes to show you, like, that none of these things stop anything except making it more difficult for the regular person out there to defend themselves from lunatics. Right? If the people of Canada had the ability to defend themselves more easily, they would have just, popped some shots in these assholes and put them down. But no. So, it's craziness, and I think we need to look out for all this stuff. This doesn't make it set in stone. The politicians need to know that we don't like the idea of this. We're not going for it. They could do this all they want to, but we don't have to participate in it. And that's the way we have to think about it. And I think, like we obviously stated in already, it's a trap. You get involved in it, you go on their books. They could come into your home and now for some of us, they can do whatever they want to do anyway because of, if you're an FFL, you're this thing.
But
or
I'm
that
just
thing.
I'm just telling the peeps out there,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got my SBR. Yay! It didn't cost me nothing. Yay! Hell yeah. Now you just put yourself in their crosshairs even more. So,
Yeah.
even more than you already have. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
And also, I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble for floating this out there? Maybe some of these companies that have made cajillions of dollars selling these SIG braces should take some of the cajillions and give it to GOA and all these other organizations out there fighting for the Second Amendment to help push back on the bullshit. Otherwise, a lot of the money that you spent on stuff is just, you got some fancy looking garbage. Right? Am I wrong about that?
No.
Maybe
It's
some of that
also
money.
tiring.
Some of that money should go back into the pot to fight this stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, I think the pistol braces should exist, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So. Go ahead.
Brian, quick. Why shouldn't I go ahead and just SBR under lower? Well, I tell you what. If you do it now, you won't get stuck in that in that wave that'll flood this.
I personally own a bunch of SBRs, so I'm not going to tell you don't do it.
we
I
all
think it's
we all have
unconstitutional.
SBRs. Yeah.
I think it's unconstitutional, but I follow our current set of laws because I don't want to go to prison. Basically,
No.
that's the only reason to follow laws is so you don't go to
Everyone
prison.
on this panel has SBRs, but I
Ah.
don't think that's the question here, right? I think we all
No,
have SBRs. Walter and myself are FFLs.
There's a difference between me complaining and following the law because it's what I chose to do, and the full force of the government telling you this thing can't exist or you can't own it. You know?
Well, and then,
that has nothing. That is completely. When you read definitions, they don't meet the definitions. They're making shit up out of their asses.
but also think about this. You know, one of the things they want you to do is send in pictures. So if you think you're just going to get lowers and just register them all for free, they want you to send pictures. What do they want that for? I don't know. That might become some record somewhere.
I'm not telling anybody to do this, but if you're creative, you can make a lot of pictures, if you know what I mean. So, with that being said,
don't unduly incriminate yourself either. By the way, don't give these people a reason.
I don't think a lot of people will understand the whole NFA thing. They'll just do it out of it's free, and they'll do it, and then. Yeah, and then,
remember they don't have to. Remember they don't have to approve it. So you could do. You could send in your. You could take your pictures, which they want you to send a picture like this, right? They want you to send a picture.
They want to see the gun.
Yeah, they want to see the gun. So in some part of this, I don't know how many pictures they want. They might want to see serial numbers, but they want to see this thing. Then you're going to send it in to them. Guess what? It's not pre-approved.
And guess what?
Do you think it's pre-approved?
Mark my words, there's going to be some fellas that send their applications in with their name and all that stuff on them, and they ain't allowed to even own a gun. If you know what I mean, Jelly Bean.
Yeah.
And they're going to end up getting a knock on the door, dung, 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 or the door get knocked down, and they're going to have no guns and no freedom or nothing. So that's all I'm doing.
If you're the kind of person that wants to keep, not us, like we've said it already, we've got SBRs and things like that. Before all of this happened, there was this thing in the olden days called SBRs, right? So we've got those, but there are folks out there that don't want to be on the radar like this. They want to have their guns. They want to do what they want to do with them. And the minute you do this, that you're on the radar because you send the stuff into them.
As soon as that application hits, somebody's going to register. Somebody's going to put that in a computer and look up your vitals, like your history, and they're going to see whether you can or you can't, or you should or you shouldn't, and then it could get a little weird. That's all. I'm saying.
But I just think this is not in the ATF's purview. I don't know why we even have the concept of SBRs anyway.
It's an ancient concept. It's from the 30s.
Yeah, we're going backwards with this. If they want to do something, progressive, get rid of that.
Canada doesn't even have SBRs. They don't have short barrel shotgun stuff either, like we do. The damn Canucks.
It's because it's bullshit. It's made up, and this will establish it. This will establish, like, hey, these things are criminal. Why? Why is it criminal? You know what? With these, let's say we're undercounting the number of them. Okay, because I'm gonna go with Mr. Guns and Gear, Walt. He's typically a very accurate dude. So let's say we're undercounting it, and we say 10 million of these. How many people have these things killed? How many have they killed? How many?
That stock hasn't killed anybody.
The gun,
exactly.
This goes back to the gun doesn't do shit. It just sits around until somebody picks it up.
So why is it bad? Why is it bad? 10 million of them out there. Why is it evil?
It's not. We know that.
Why must it be specially registered? Is it a pit bull that might act like, do you know the other day, like a male carrier lady went into someone's yard with some pit bulls and they killed her? Is this that?
I have my own opinions on that, but
but you understand what I'm saying, right? No mind of its own right here. No mind of its own.
Well, I have the pit bull owners strung up right next to the dogs. Anyways, let me fix that real quick.
Yep, I'm with you on that.
We hang the doggies first, and then we hang their owners. Right
that's a whole other thing, man. Some of these people, like, for dogs to be like that, I'm not saying hey, there may be a case out there where a person took care of their dog and something happened, but it's
Usually
very unlikely.
It's behavior. It's the same with people. Why do you think people act like animals? Because they're raised like animals.
Yeah.
That's why they act like animals.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there abusing dogs, and this is why we have, things like
Anyways,
this out there. Yeah.
So that's my opinion about this. If you want to do it, great. Who knows? Maybe I will do one or two just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have. I mean, I'm an SOT, so I don't have to do it. I don't have. All my stuff is in my business, so.
Yeah, you're a manufacturer, so it's when you make it, you're making it, and it's ipso facto. Well, none of us are lawyers.
If I put it in my name, my own name, I got to pay that $200 just like Patrick or anybody else has got to pay it. So.
Oh yeah. I just think it's bullshit, and I think that what we should do is protest and not go along with it, and say no. Okay?
Yeah.
And we need to tell the politicians, no, you can't keep adding shit. This is what the Supreme Court was saying. Like, you can't just keep adding this shit. When, back in the olden days, did they say that you can't have a short barrel cannon? Does anybody remember that? They didn't. There's no such thing. It's just a nonsensical thing that they came up with. And I think, like Walter was saying, like, oh, where am I hiding this?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some quote unquote gangsters with Dracos or Draco, like it should be pronounced, in their pants, but you can't hide it. It's pretty obvious. It's like.
Well, that was back in the days when people were wearing the baggy pants, but now even the rappers are wearing the skinny jeans. So,
look, this is a dagger. Mm-hmm. This is a Glock 19, basically. I can put a 30-round mag, a 50-round drum. Do I really need, if I really want to do havoc and mayhem, do I really need to carry around this thing? Would I? No, not at all.
Yeah, most of us don't want to do that, though. So
I mean, just say that's all I'm saying. Short barrel rifles came around as a result of people chopping off 22s to make them small. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, or people say gangsters. Yeah, they cut things down, but for the most part, it was just regular old.
The whole NFA is bullshit. Just suppressors. Why? What's the problem with suppressors? How many suppressors do we have out there? We got lots. We got lots of suppressors. What are they doing to people? What's happening here? They're not doing anything. We don't need this bullshit. It's unnecessary. And then they're going to hire a whole bunch of people. They're going to add more people to the books to do this nonsense. I think they should just get rid of it, man.
But we all do. I don't think anybody would disagree with you.
Yeah.
We're
preaching to the choir. Yeah, we're preaching to the choir here, unfortunately. But I'm just trying to say, if you're out there and you don't understand this, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Okay? It doesn't make any sense what they're doing. And there's lots of people out there that have these things. Lots of people. Not just the gun dudes. Lots of people in America.
Lots of people have bought them because they're cool looking.
They're in movies. Stars have them. All kinds of folks out there have them. Yes.
Man, that's a cool looking gun, man. Yeah, I want one of them.
Yeah. Besides which, according to Biden, the only dangerous thing is whoever has the fucking F-15s. So nothing else under an F-15 should be NFA. Put the F-15s in the fucking. Well, no, I don't want to say that. No, let me take that back. Because I don't even. I would like to get one day.
F-15.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, come on now. If he says that that's what you really need, then none of this is dangerous. Then, what are they worried about? So yeah, I don't know. That's my thing on it. We could we can move on. I think a lot of people understand that. I think a lot of that's been said. So there was no other. What else was out there? You guys could tell us what else happened over.
I don't know if anything else. I don't know what else is going on right now.
Gun-wise, I know lots of guns. Guns are coming out, but we're not even. We're in September. What's the usual time? I think towards the end of the year when we start seeing all the new guns coming out, right?
Well, because the SHOT Show's
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's usually the end of the year we start hearing it. Well, typically it used to be like right before SHOT Show, but that's gone away from the last couple of years. Towards the end of the year, we're just seeing more, more and more guns coming out. So,
Yeah. Well,
uh,
Santa Claus is coming again too, so and taxes and all that stuff. You get your rebates. You get yeah. I mean, come on, man. Typically,
boy.
here's in the gun world. Here, typical in the old school ways, the summer
Mhm.
was slow
Mhm.
because you're out on vacation. You got the damn kids home. They're screaming and hollering. You got to buy school clothes. You got no money for your guns or your whatever. Then once they get them back in school and you get them out of your hair, here comes Christmas. Here comes income tax money. Here comes Santa Claus.
Mhm.
And then April comes along, and tax money and all that fun stuff. The whole cycle starts. So also wintertime is hunting season too, so that's a good excuse to go buy
Yeah, that's
yourself
true.
a hunting rifle. So
Yeah. So from the end of the year, in the last quarter of the year to about the first quarter of the next year, that's all gun selling time. So there you go. Okay, so just to flip it a little bit here in the few minutes we have left, I'm going to throw this article up here. My brother actually sent this. San Francisco School District asks parents to rent out spare rooms to teachers because they can't afford the soaring housing costs. Average price of a one-bedroom apartment soars 11% to $3,000 a month in the
It
world's
sounds
net
like a
capital.
problem with San Francisco.
Yeah.
whose fault is that?
Yeah, I'll be damned. I don't want that
Exactly.
teacher spending any extra time with my kid.
Hell no.
No, I'm not renting rooms to them. Tell them to
But
go
none of-
live in the streets with everybody else.
The craziest part of all of this to me is none of them seem to nobody that lives there seems to understand any of this.
This
No.
is all self-induced by the government. There,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
won't put out
But
won't
they
put
don't-
out
they don't
houses, no
see it.
building
They're just,
permits
"Oh, this
and
is-
stuff like that.
How they always have an external source of problems. How dare they do this to those poor
Yeah.
teachers?
Yeah, now I gotta rent
And they
a
don't
room to
realize
these
that
teachers.
they
I don't,
are
yeah.
the ones.
Right. I'm not renting anything to these teachers. That's
It-
government
it's all
takeover.
crazy.
Yeah. Move out of California. California must go the way of the dodo bird. Okay? That's the bottom line. Bottom line. California has to fail. Okay? California must fail in order for it to get any better. I know that
Well,
sucks
you
if
have-
you live in California.
You have to get enough of the business and stuff to leave to where it's not sustainable anymore. Their way of doing things is not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and where nobody wants to move there to teach, and nobody wants to move there to do anything.
Dude,
Because-
$3,000 a month for one bedroom. That is a mansion in Florida. We're gonna take.
How
we're
much
ta-
a month
We're
was
taking
it?
a break.
3,000?
3,000. Yeah, we're taking a hard break. I'm gonna be right back here. With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. So Patrick, I'm gonna throw up the article here again. It's in the Daily Mail.
That
$3,000 a month
$1,000 a month
For
is
one
just
bedroom.
Unbelievable.
That's a nice mortgage.
That's here in Gainesville. That is a massive house.
It's a nice mortgage. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I was those teachers, I would just buy a Ferrari and sleep in that. I mean, come on. This is so crazy. This is so nuts. You know, the laws, the things that they're putting effect there is what's pushing all of this up. That's how it goes.
It's exactly what it is.
And you got to get rid of your gasoline car too pretty soon too. So, and where's that teacher going to charge her? Oh, she can't afford a car. She can't even afford to go to the grocery store.
No, they're going to be telling parents, listen, parents, we want you to voluntarily give up your house. We're going to put some people to live in there. We'll put some teachers. We'll put some homeless people to live in your house. You don't need it. You're rich. That's why you got a house. So you just move the fuck out of your house and let some other people who need it more than you live in there. This it's all crazy. Just move. Get out of there. Leave. Okay? That's my advice to the folks to the folks out there. So
it's too bad.
Yeah. Any other let's see, what are we in? We're in whatever we want. Who has some Gorn they want to show off? Who's got some guns?
Nothing new here.
Yeah.
Soon, hopefully, but nothing yet.
Right. So I will show this because we actually we did some stuff with this earlier, but it officially came in. So this is a dagger, with the red dot hollow sun on it, threaded barrel and all that. Came in from PSA. We're going to be doing some videos. I know Walter's got a dagger over there somewhere. There he goes. Boom. There's your dagger.
Just a plain old dagger.
Yeah. That's a old school one. You've had that for a while when they first came out.
Old school, what? Less than a year. Less than a year, I think. Or something.
Yeah, you had to. You were on standby.
I scooped it up like crazy.
The day that they hit the streets, that's what I was trying to buy 2 of them because Hank Strait says, "Give me one too, give me one too," and I'm pushing the button and I forgot that I had the damn, the crap blocker on the internet thing, and it kept blocking me from filling out the shopping cart until it all gone.
Yeah, that is a tip. You're here.
Anyway,
you're here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That
way, make sure your ad blocker's turned off when.
Yeah. If you're trying to buy something from PSA. Go in there naked. Don't have anything in the way. Don't have anything in the way. You got to be streamlined. You got to sit at your computer naked with all your ad blockers.
Finally, I got one day. I was watching it on a Friday because that's when they dropped them on Fridays when they were still new. And I was outside doing something with somebody. A friend stopped by the shop, and I go back inside, and it's like right at 4:20, and I hit the button. And they were available. I got one, and as soon as I got my shopping cart going and done, boom, they were out of stock again. So yeah. I finally did pick one up. Now they're everywhere. They're no problem now. You get them.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, and people people are loving them. We did some videos that's coming out, right? And we will be doing more videos on them. I see Asper Warrior wants to know if this is a ring. What does it say? He says, "Is that the hollow sun with the 32 MOA ring dot?" Hold on, let me see. I just put it on here, so I'm gonna try to see if I can even. It's gonna be tough to even show you the dot on there. Unfortunately, I could try, but it's not gonna be easy. Let's see. Let's see if we could do this here. No, it's not gonna be easy to show it, but you can see there is a dot in there. It is a ring. But it's not easy to show up on here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Hey.
What's up? What?
No, I was going to say, man, you had that sight on that panther, man. Right on that panther's head. Keep that panther down. Put him down.
Yeah. I'm about to take him out.
Take him down. Put him down.
I'm trying to see. It's not, man, with optics, it's just not easy.
You have to focus at infinity to get the optic to show. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Unless you can focus your camera at infinity at will, it ain't gonna work.
No, it's not easy. I'm trying to do something. No, it's not. It's not freaking easy. So, your eyes have to see it for yourself. So that's
yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
But we'll do some stuff on this, and I don't know if we'll be able to figure it out when we do it. We'll see. We'll see what we could do. Go ahead, Walt.
What I got here, this is a 7.62 39 AR with like 11-inch barrel, with a brace. That's the compact entry stock Safety Harbor Firearms.
Yes.
Gearhead Works brace.
Yes. Still available now.
This combination, this 7.62 with a 12-inch or 11-inch barrel, this is a thumper. When the thing goes off, it's like it's like Fireball City.
Yeah. I thought you were,
Especially full of-
I don't know if we were supposed to talk about this, but I thought you were getting too old for this, Walt. You know, you're like, you're like that dude in the movie that's like 2 weeks from retirement.
Walter will never change.
What I'm getting too old of, and I feel like I'm just tired of this bullshit. Okay. I mean, seriously, the whole. It's not. It ain't natural. This what's going on in our
all
in
the
our
laws
land.
and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. It's
in our land. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm tired of. So.
Yeah.
I like to make you saw me lighting flares and burning gunpowder and all. I like doing that stuff. That's fun.
Yeah.
But
right. Oh yeah. Obviously, you're not worried about that. Someone wants to know what this is. It's a HS507C. So there you go. What the hollow sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was that close the other day on Palmetto's website from ordering one of those dagger uppers. Just order the upper, just like you had there with the OD green color and or that tan color, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So
Looks
close.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. They're doing a lot of cool stuff over there with these now.
Because I got a dagger lower that's got a crappy no name upper on it, and it probably deserves to meet dagger on dagger. You know.
Labor Day sales are probably over, but they had some deals on them.
Yes.
Like $199 for that.
$199.
Yeah. I'm sure there was I don't know. There's going to be some sales coming up. the next couple months we're going to see some sales.
Oh yeah.
Out there, The one thing with PSA, man, their stuff, they've got some good deals, but those deals will sell out.
Real fast.
Yeah. So, like I said, naked in front of the computer with no protection on.
No protection.
That's how you have to do it. So, Warrior says, speaking of too old, when Danny Glover dies, will his tombstone say, got too old for this shit? Danny Glover.
You know that they are selling, and that was one of the legal things. That I guess it was an injunction by Tactical Machining, where they're selling their 80% lowers again. They just can't have any templates or can't have any markings on the outside or any instructions or anything like that.
Ridiculous. What a ridiculous
for the time being.
thing.
Well, yeah, it's silly. Yeah, come on. We got this thing nowadays called the interweb.
I know, right? It's not like it's
interscreen.
1960.
Yeah, or even then, Patrick, back in the 80s. Let's say back in the 80s when I became gun, aware, all that stuff. You could still get all the info you wanted. It just took a little longer.
Mail order catalog, from what I understand. You can find anything. You just got to find the right person.
There was advertisements. There's people. Yeah, you just you order this, you order that, you get some plans, you get that, you get a thing called a pair of calipers, and and you measure and you mark. To think that somehow, if you turned off the internet today and we had no more of this, you think things would stop?
No.
And how the signal never stops. It doesn't matter.
We went to the frickin' moon without the internet. We don't need a fucking internet.
Babyface already has backup plans for his communications. First of all, so let's be honest with that. It's already out of the. Did you want to show off your backup plans, Patrick? Go ahead, Walt. Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say, as a country, as a nation, we got more accomplished without the internet and all these fancy technical ways to communicate with a good old-fashioned telephone than we did now.
No one is going back to the phone. Can I just say that? We're not.
But
we're
what I'm
never
saying
going back
is,
to the phone.
you didn't need all this stuff to get things accomplished.
No.
People used to do something like talk. They talk to each other.
Yeah.
We can't.
Don't need it now.
NASA's been fucking around with the rocket they're messing with for 10 years right now, and they haven't got the first thing fired off. Look how fast someone else did it privately.
Yeah. Now I know that SpaceX has got some issues, but I think what is that? Is that the main booster is cracked or something? What was the reason that SpaceX thing didn't launch?
I don't know what's going on, but you know what? When that shit breaks or catches fire and burns, who's out there that night or the next morning fixing it?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are out there fucking fixing it. They're not doing an environmental study and holding each other's hand and having a woke meeting where they have to have all the certain employees there with all the certain just that and the other. They're out there fixing the shit and getting it done.
Let me just say this, man. If we keep messing around, the Indians will get to the moon and conquer the moon.
Hey, I tell you what.
And then I'm gonna pull all my Indian credit out.
Hey, God bless the Indians. Those people are doing it. They're working it. They're getting it done.
Yeah.
They're building rockets. I'm all
If
for
some
the
dudes
fucking
die, they're like, fuck it, we got more people.
they got billions of people.
Yeah.
Get another one.
Yeah.
And that's
it'll be good. We'll be fine.
I mean, that's the same idea the Chinese too. It's the same way,
America was like that. Come on now. America was like that developing the space program. How many of those test pilots were up there crashing and burning? Come on.
Well, but look how fast things got done, my friend.
Well, yeah. Throw some dudes at it.
Yeah. Look at. You want to see a dude that was the guy, Neil Armstrong, first guy to step on the moon. He is a fucking badass. That guy survived more shit than you.
I
I
don't know about being the first guy to do anything. Like, I'll let somebody else test the waters, and then I'll jump in and see what happens.
But I mean, as a test pilot, as a fighter pilot, as this, that, and the other, that guy did more shit and survived more hairy stuff than
Yeah, wasn't who was the Green? I don't know. I have to look up in the comic book history books and see who the Green Lantern. But the Green Lantern, for example, was based on those test pilots.
Yeah, I mean, Edwards Air Force Base. All the streets on Edwards Air Force Base are named after dead test pilots.
Yeah, those were some crazy mofos.
Yeah, I mean, this guy boldly went where nobody should ever freaking go and did it over and over.
That's how you do it, man. Yeah, that's how you do it. Shelly Fungus says the Indians will own the first 7-Eleven on the moon for sure.
Wait a minute. There's going to be some conflict there with their Muslim friends across the border.
What do you mean?
Pakistanis. Pakistanis.
Uh-huh.
According to Joe Biden, that's. Remember the whole.
That's who. What is that?
Joe
who
Biden
owns the 7-Eleven?
He had some racial comments about the Pakistanis at one point.
Joe Biden.
That stuff?
He said he has literally said everything under the sun in one direction or the other,
and gotten away with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he called all of us terrorists the other day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. Lola sent me this poll: 56% view Joe Biden's extremism speech as unacceptable.
Of course.
56% of general election voters view President Joe Biden's speech, where he casts Republicans as threats to the foundations of our republic, as unacceptable. A Tuesday Trafalgar group poll found. So there you go.
No, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Did anyone actually look at that? I don't fucking look at it.
I watched some highlights of it. I wasn't going to waste my time looking at it, but it's stupid.
I heard him make that statement, and then I can't watch that shit. I can't. Yeah. That's why I turn the news off. I can't watch.
Yeah, I have to turn it off too. It's like
it's all bullshit. This. So
yeah, I don't pay much. I mean, I know that it happened because it's all over the news, and then of course, like the Hollywood Republican dudes are like, oh my god, that's But this guy's been saying shit about us for a long time. Maybe that's why you dudes out there should be resisting all this bullshit. Maybe that's why you shouldn't be going along with shit from these people.
Yeah, 42 Chilled posted a thing about North American X-15. Neil Armstrong flew the X-15 like a crazy man too. So, yeah, those guys that did the X-15 stuff are wild men too.
Yeah, those are the good old days, man. Those are the good old days. You could fly that fighter jet. You can come down, snatch someone by the hoo-ha's. Get your
snatch him up by the hoo-ha.
Hey, what's his name? What's his name? The test pilot guy that could have been an astronaut, but he wasn't a college educated, so when they put him in the test pilot guy, Joe.
Test pilot. Someone's going to tell us out there.
First guy to go supersonic. Anyways,
we'll have to search that first.
You read about his stuff and riding motorcycle in the dark in the desert, going full blast across the desert in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's just. There's a crazy ass. He got shot down in France and snuck back, with the resistance and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, over and over and over and over. So, yeah.
Those were
yeah,
different
Chuck Yeager.
times.
Chuck
Oh,
Yeager.
oh, okay, Chuck Yeager, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. He's a freaking,
Oh, so he
was
he couldn't go into space because he didn't have a degree. That's messed up.
he wasn't college educated. No.
That's messed up.
And his idea was that was kind of he told one of the other astronauts that was thinking about it, he said, "What do you think about this?" He goes, "It's a waste of time. Don't do that."
Mm-hmm.
The whole space program thing, whether he was doing the other stuff, flying. I mean, that dude was like
Mhm.
60 years old and still flying jets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, or 70, pushing 70 when he was still flying jets and stuff. So, yeah, he's a wild man.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it.
you know, those, like I said, those were the good old days, man. You know, those are the good old days, you know. Like I've heard my dad say, you're not a man unless you got an STD and got a big ass needle stuck up your pee-pee.
No, thank you. Oh no,
No,
thank
thank
you.
I don't think that makes the right stuff there. I really don't think so.
People back in the days really did not give a shit. Do you remember in the olden days, people didn't even know what their kids were up to until like around 9 or 10. I don't even know if some people ever wondered what their kids were up to.
I got
Do you remember those days?
I didn't do bad stuff like put in jail stuff, but I was. My
Yeah.
parents had no idea.
I
A
did.
wild man.
I have some questionable things that, even in my time, looking back on it now, I was like, man, if I would have gotten caught doing some of that stuff, they would have thrown my ass in jail.
Yeah, you're not gonna let your kid do the kind of stuff that
I
our
don't
parents let us do
I-
back in the days.
I think I wouldn't, but I don't.
Parents used to think that kids were like expendable. Oh, we'll just make another one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not true.
Okay.
Expendable.
You just get another one. You
Just
know.
order up another one.
Yeah, that's easy to make babies. I got lots of them in the old family jewels shaking around.
I guess.
Yeah, now, like with my kids, man, I'm like, I was on top of like tracking them, where you go, taking them to school, you know. My parents didn't take nobody to school. Just go. You have to go to school. You will somehow get there. Yeah, but
Right.
but these people are kicking my ass all the way to the school. You'd be fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good for you. It makes you stronger. So yeah, I'm telling you.
No, yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, yeah, some of those astronauts were pretty. The old school astronauts are pretty. They could party pretty hard too. So
Yeah.
I bet.
especially the single ones, they kind of rocked the.
Think about how cars used to be. Remember, cars didn't have seatbelts. They didn't have airbags.
Well,
They didn't have
cars-
crumple zones.
cars- Cars have had seatbelts for a long time. They haven't had they had lap belts. I mean, even back in the day, they all had lap belts. And I remember when the shoulder belts came out, nobody wore that damn stuff because it was like such a pain in the ass. It was stuck
Yeah.
someplace else.
Yeah, a lot of people thought, oh no, the seatbelt makes it more dangerous for you. If you get into an accident, I've had people right here in the country tell me that.
That was a real thought back then.
They're like,
Yeah,
if you
that
get
was
into
more
an
dangerous.
accident, you don't want to have a seatbelt on. You want to get
Yep,
thrown out of
yep.
that car. That's good for you.
What you need to have is a paramedic EMT friend to tell you about what happens when people hit the windshield and stuff.
Yeah, or what happens when your own car rolls over you? You
Oh,
want to
top
stay
it
in
when
that
you go-
cage.
you get
My
ejected.
grandmother
in the
had.
car.
Oh my, you know what's funny? My grandmother has, and I'm sure a lot of older folks in their late 80s have stories from when they were youths that to us grandkids are like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, we got to take a break.
grandmother-
Hold on 1 second. I want to
Okay.
cut off. Let's take this break and come right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC. All right, babyface. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Tell us, Grandma.
No,
Face
so
B.
my grandmother said when she must have been 18 or 19, she loved going to drag races, and these were not official drag races. These were just stock
No.
cars from the
Street races.
50s.
Yeah.
They were just street racing, but they would street race out at an airport. There was some little airport that they would go to in Tampa, and they would street race out their drag race. And she has a story that somebody They were street racing, they were drag racing out of the airport, and somebody was hanging out the side of the car, like screaming at the crowd, and the car flipped and took that person's cranium right off. And it was one of those stories that I was like, holy shit, are you serious? And she's like, oh yeah, no, I remember that. And I was like, my lovely old grandmother. What? Really?
Oh, your grandma was...
Some dude got killed?
Your grandma was young at one point, and she was young in the good old days.
That's wild to think. But yeah, yep, 100%.
You don't know, your grandma could have been throwing down, scrapping. Cutting people up.
She's Cuban. She's Cuban, so she probably was scrappy at the time. So
yeah. Man.
She had a temper. My grandmother had a temper on her too.
The old school people did everything. Do you realize that? Like back in the days, people knew how to, like, you had to know how to make your food, like, hunt your food down or whatever, cook it. You had to make your own clothes. You had to do all your own shit.
You want to hear more about this, because this is exactly what she got raised by her grandmother, because her dad was a drunk. He was a what's it called, a functional alcoholic. Monday through Friday would go to work, Saturday and Sunday would spend all day and night at the bar, drinking his money away. So the grandmother raised her and her like 6 brothers and sisters. The woman took care of not only these 6 kids of all different ages, my grandmother being little and the oldest one being 15, she also had like 2 or 3 other people that would sleep on the couches. They were all family. It was all relatives of some kind, but they had, I need to get the address of the house. The house is still around. It's in West Tampa, and it is the size of a large garage.
Oh yeah, houses were
and
that
they
big.
Probably had 12 people of this Cuban family living in there. But no, the grandmother was a seamstress. She knew how to sew everything. My grandmother said she never had clothing from a department store until she was like 20, because her grandmother would sew everything.
You had to make your own liquor.
Grandmother was raised through the Depression, so they had a farm out back, a little plot where they grew stuff. They had a cow. This is in West Tampa in the 40s, I guess. They had to, my great uncle had to walk the cow to the field on the way to school and stake him in the field on his way to school in the morning. But somehow they survived. They got away with it, and it was. But no, they did. She did everything for them back then. That woman did crazy amounts of work to have those kids survive.
DCG 44 says, "Hey, someone's grandma was a hottie in a mini skirt and go-go boots." 100%.
I don't think about that.
How do you think the kids came along?
Yeah,
They didn't
exactly. Yeah. Those were fun times, man. It wasn't all whatever nonsense is going on now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
42.
It's like when you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they had a cow. They had
probably had chickens. They probably had the whole...
chickens.
Yep. They were not food chickens though. They were egg-laying chickens.
Yeah,
and it was interesting.
Chickens,
It was an interesting thing though. Talking to her, meat was not something you ate all the time. So like now, like Mark and I for lunch, we went to PDQ and had chicken. Back in the 40s, for the poor, for the working poor, you didn't have meat every day. You'd have like rice and beans a lot. You'd have tons of rice.
Yeah,
and beans.
meat was an occasion. Meat was an occasion.
Meat was an occasion. She would raise a pig, or I think she raised 2 hogs a year, one for Christmas and one for sometime in the summer. So she always had a hog being raised to slaughter for.
But it was a lot. It was a lot more expensive. Like right now, we're mass doing these things, and that's why they're in all kinds of crazy conditions and all that. Yeah.
If you want the milk, you had to haul the cow out to the field so it could eat.
Yeah.
And then bring it home at the end of the school day.
Yeah, 42 Chill said seafood.
It's
a lot of
different.
people went fishing.
Yes. No, in Tampa, plenty of seafood. Plenty of seafood.
Yeah. My dad was here one time, and he was like just looking around at my property, and he was like, when we were kids, we didn't have like a McDonald's or anything like that. We would get a rock, knock that bird out of the tree, pluck the feathers, cook it up.
Wait, are you serious here that you would knock a bird out of a tree and eat it?
That's what they would do. Oh, yes. Yeah.
They, not you.
My dad, not me. My dad was
I
born.
thought you said you did.
My dad was born in 1946 in Guyana.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there
so
was
he
no.
he did
There
that
was
stuff.
barely like one. I think one family had a radio. The wealthiest family had a radio, and when shit happened, everybody came down to that
Everybody
house.
went there.
Yeah, to listen to the radio. So yeah.
Yep.
If there was like an extra squirrel walking around free, it's like, oh, that's food.
Well, after my dad was over in Europe after World War II, of course, because they were displaced persons, they were refugees pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in displaced persons camp. It was like there was no cats and dogs running around.
Oh
No.
Shit
No.
running around.
no.
All that shit
There-
got ate.
There are never wild household type pets running around in places where people are starving. The
But
two
look,
do
but
not
look
go
at us
together.
today. How often do you guys out wherever you live see freaking deer just walking around like
Oh yeah.
all free and
Plenty.
fancy? Yeah.
All the time. I got during this later part of the year, I will go out in the morning and there will be 8 to 10 wild turkeys. Turkey, I guess there's no S.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging out, gobbling around the backyard, looking for stuff to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always told
they're
Marley
not-
we would never, if we ever had to, we would not go hungry for ever.
But that would
Obviously,
not
you're gonna-
happen. That would not happen when our parents' time, because our parent, like even here where I live, these kids grew up with shotguns and things like that. That freaking
if
thing
it's-
is getting shotgunned and they're having a party.
If it's season and the deer runs through your backyard, might as well put it in the freezer.
Yep.
What season? There's a season?
Exactly. No, in the right area, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you gotta eat, there ain't no damn season.
No, nobody's gonna know about that. No, man, it was different times. It was different times. I don't think you know what? I don't want to say we'll never go back to that because anything could happen.
We're not.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
We're
No,
not
let's
hungry
forget about all the political stuff. If you had something happen like Yellowstone, the volcano go off,
Mhm.
you would be in that position in a matter of probably days.
Days.
Yeah.
People in major cities, and I keep saying this, people in major cities would be killing and probably not literally eating each other, but killing each other for food and whatnot.
Days.
2 weeks to me would be a long time. I'd say
What's
days.
what's
within
the fallout
first week.
range of Yellowstone? Hold on, I'm gonna look. This
Well,
up.
it's not that
it'll-
you have there would be a major population shift to the east,
Mhm.
and
The
everybody
main problem
getting
is. Go ahead, Walter.
everybody getting away from that ash and that crap, moving to the east. So it would be very challenging.
The main issue is the sun would be blotted out for all of the bread belt, all
Yeah.
of that area where.
Oh,
food
this
comes
is
from,
interesting.
The sun would
Oh, look at
be
this.
blotted right out.
Okay, FEMA experts drafted 6 plausible ash fallout zones across the U.S. to map out the far-reaching effects of Yellowstone spewing ash. Zone 1 would extend up to 80 kilometers from the eruption, blasting the ground with sweltering hot gases and up to 3 meters, oh my god, of volcanic ash at temperatures over 400 degrees centigrade. This is from 2018, and then that's the map of the fallout, obviously, with the inside zones.
Right.
Oh,
If you want to find out how that volcanic stuff, there's I saw recently about Pompeii, and there's another town next that. If it was Pompeii or the other town that was next to that, where they got hit with the heat wave from the thing, and people cowered down to get down, and their heads literally exploded because your brain boiled
yeah.
from the heat.
Well, it's gonna
So
pop
like,
the pressure. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, oh my fucking god, It's
Yeah.
like-
42
talk
Chill
about
said
bad.
no light for 10 to 20 years.
well, I
In
don't- I
certain
don't know
areas,
about
yeah.
that.
There,
in certain areas, yeah.
this goes back to the worst
It
year in
depends how
human
long it-
history.
It depends how long it erupts for too. I mean, that kind of thing.
True,
But-
that's true. But the worst year in human history was like 14. Let me see, worst year in written history.
There's going to be a lot of fighting, I think, for land at that point because yes, you're going to have all those people trying to go someplace. Whoever survives.
Now, where's this?
Yeah. You're not
And
going to
they're
have a
gonna
lot of
go
people
where
survive that. Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go where you are or we are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Year
No, I'm just saying-
536.
What's that, Patrick?
Year 536 was the worst year in recorded human history. Because you always hear us, we always complain about, man, this is the worst year ever, especially when like COVID is in. Oh, it's the worst year ever. Year 536. This is before any of the westernization of the Americas, obviously. Some sort of massive volcano went off in the Mexican, today would be Mexico.
So Anno Domini, after Christ, 546.
546 AD, correct.
Okay.
AD, yeah.
It was so massive that it blotted out the sun in all of North and most of South America, which obviously we don't know much about. We just have ash records of it. But all of that carried across the Atlantic Ocean and darkened the skies of Europe and all the way even on the other side to China, and caused mass starvations for a lot of like China, mass starvations because it was too dark, nothing would grow. They said it was like twilight for 18 months. Imagine that twilight at night where it's kind of dark, kind of light. 18 months.
Yeah,
of
it's a
that.
massive
People thought
filter
world-
over the light. Yeah.
People thought the world was ending, which I can imagine.
It
You have no
was
idea why
kind
this is
of,
happening.
yeah.
Yeah, it did end for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yep.
There was another one of those events when Krakatoa went off in the Pacific. Krakatoa, that was another one where the weather was changed for a few years or something. There was basically like when you would have July and it being really hot, it wasn't. It was kind of nasty and overcast and cold.
It's wild to think that in the scheme of history for creatures living on this planet, volcanoes, I think, are the number one killer of things.
Volcanoes and
kill
water.
Volcanoes or water, you said?
Volcanoes and water, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for sure.
No, nature's good at killing us.
Yeah. I think what was it? 42 Chills said 7 super volcanoes in the world. There are about 7. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but
Makes me paranoid. I hate to think about it.
lots of shit can happen.
There ain't no part of the interweb that's gonna keep you safe. Nothing. Because there'll be no communications. The communication system completely destroyed. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of things. So I guess you got the volcanoes, you got like asteroids, you got all kinds of stuff. You could have an actual some kind of disease goes crazy, on the planet, something that is easily passed amongst human beings that you got no chance of recovering from. And that's happened. Just imagine, what is the planet like? I think they estimate somewhere between 5 and 7 billion years old. How many times has civilization's been wiped out?
That's what you got to wonder is, at some point, when we're talking hundreds of millions or billions of years old, ancient civilizations just get ground up and turned back into the earth. We wouldn't even have fossil remnants of any of that. So, who knows?
Yeah. How many times have we had Joe Biden's and Donald Trump's on the planet?
Oh God, I don't think no. Well,
lots. Uh-oh. What happened here?
Harley watched a Biden video with me today. Are you guys frozen or am I frozen?
No, we're here.
Okay.
I think I'm back.
Yeah.
Marley watched a Biden video with me today, and we're going to have lunch, and she's like yelling at my phone as I'm playing the video about his speech.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, man, this is why I can't allow her to partake in too much politics, because she gets more angry than I do.
Yeah, don't get her all aggravated.
No, I can't get her riled up.
Yeah, don't get her aggravated. What were you gonna say, Walt?
No, nothing. I'm good.
So check it out. I just pulled this up real quick. There are about 20 known supervolcanoes on Earth, including Lake Toba in Indonesia, Lake Taupo in New Zealand, and the somewhat smaller Phlegraean fields near Naples, Italy, Super eruptions occur rarely, only once every 100,000 years on average.
And like I always say, everything in this world is cyclic. So eventually the cycle comes back around, and guess what?
Ba-boom!
Real
No soup for
weather-
you. Mm-hmm.
natural disasters and pandemics. Endemics and pandemics are the things that scare me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because natural disasters and pandemics, you have very little control. And I mean real pandemics, not 2019 pandemics.
Not this
I
crap.
mean
that
real
just
pandemics.
That was no pandemic.
I mean the Black Plague, which kills off like 60% of the population of the world. Like that level where you have no control. You have no control. You just pray and hope that you don't die, because the weather is coming whether you do anything or not, and the viruses are coming whether you do anything or not. That's the stuff that scares me.
Yeah. Night Train says volcanoes are important to release pressure, otherwise the world will blow itself up. Yeah, they're like pimples.
Basically, yeah,
they're
it's
like
a big
pimples.
fart chamber.
Yeah, it's like pimples. You know.
It's the world's fart.
Yeah, I think it's like pimples. That's how the body gets the poison out, the concentrated poison.
No, the lesson to this is don't live next to the volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. That's a good piece of life lesson tree right there.
Who's deliberately living next to a volcano?
Look at is it Naples or Pompeii? Right next, they're still right next to the damn volcano there. In Washington State, Mount Rainier, I guess Mount Rainier. If that thing goes off, there's a whole civilization right down the flow. You know, I mean, I understand why people live there. You know,
people live in Tornado Alley.
But,
you know, people live in places in Florida that keep getting hit. People live in Louisiana, for Christ's sakes. Think about that. I mean,
but that. You got a week's notice when a hurricane's coming, my friend.
Okay.
That freaking volcano goes off, you're going to be sitting there in your lounge chair watching something, and then all of a sudden the alarms will go off and you go, "What's that, Martha?" That's the volcano alarm. Fuck that. We ain't going nowhere.
That's the same thing people say when the hurricanes are coming. Even in Florida, whatever, we'll be fine. We'll make it. We'll get through. Your first one, you panic.
That wall of mud comes down the street. You'll wish you'd packed your ass up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that what was it? How many? 4 years ago, we had that one hurricane that came straight across from southeast Florida all the way through Gainesville, all the way through Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents came with my grandmother on my other side to stay with us because they thought it was going to hit Tampa perfectly. It ended up coming like in between Tampa and like right across. The power went out at midnight. Everybody in the house is perfectly content sleeping, and I'm laying there in bed just listening to the wind whip across the house going, Jesus Christ, the roof is going to be gone. The roof is going to be gone any second. And I woke up the next morning, a nervous wreck, and I was like, I looked over at Marley. She had fallen asleep at like 9:30 and slept all through the night. And I was
what category was that? What category was that? What category was it?
4? 3 or 4?
Okay. Yeah, because when we moved to Florida, we were in West Palm Beach, and we got hit with a couple of Category 5s, including Katrina went over West Palm Beach and then went out and then came back, and we were there. Yeah,
it's amazing when you don't build a city completely underwater that is being kept dry with ancient levees. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't flood all that much.
No. Alaskan Gun Dad says I can see Mount Redoubt, I'm gonna say, just across the inlet here. Sometimes it smokes.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
there's
a good
plenty
thing.
of places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have alarm system. I guess was it down along Mount Rainier and all that stuff. So that people know if things are to start going bad, and there's evacuation plans and all that stuff. But
yeah, we're gonna take a quick break here. We're gonna be right back. Talk about more disaster. The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years' experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com. Yeah, so 42 chilled.
42.
Yeah, do you want to read that,
42
Walt? Yeah, go ahead, read it.
April 10th, 1815, the island of Sumbawa exploded in Indonesia. The column of ejecta shot 28 miles into the air. The mountain lost 4,100 feet of height when its top literally blew off. The volcano shot 12 cubic miles of magma into the air, and an estimated 92,000 people immediately lost their lives. That's the one I was kind of thinking about in 1815 when the weather. It was like they had winter in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
It'll change.
From that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
No,
in
like
this
I said, that's the only
universe-
stuff that really freaks me out.
Well, in this universe, life is fragile and very rare. People don't understand that.
We don't. Yeah, we it's easy to take what we have for granted because it's always been here. I am what I am, and I've been here. You know.
Well, you need to forget, right? If you dwelled in this all the time, you wouldn't move forward, would you?
Existential crisis, existential fear. You couldn't live like that. Regular people couldn't live like that.
Yeah, you can't be constantly thinking that the volcanoes explode in Yellowstone and you're all going to die. It's just
Yeah. Now, our ancestors at some point in history had to deal with that, right? There was something trying to eat them every day. You know.
I mean, that's why we are the way we are.
Yeah.
That's
At
why
some
you got
point,
fight or
Walt,
flight built into you.
at some point, there was things trying to eat us every day, man. Before we invented doors, there was saber-toothed tigers that would come into the cave and drag your ass off in the middle of the night and just eat you.
my relation killed all those motherfuckers. Okay.
That still happens, though. Your people, Hank.
If
There are parts of.
if
Go ahead, Walter. Sorry.
Yeah.
if somebody's threatening to kill you, eventually you got to kill it.
Well, yeah, you got to kill them and eat them.
Yeah.
Well, Hank, both of your cultures you come from still get attacked by lions and tigers and eaten
Oh,
sometimes.
fuck yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah. When I lived in Nigeria, it was not uncommon, like, to be, to either hear or see, like, someone was driving somewhere and they pulled over on the side of the road to use the bathroom, and some snake comes along and eats their ass, and they're just in that snake decomposing.
I couldn't imagine living in a place where that is just the norm. Have you ever heard those things about in parts of Africa? If you wake up in your cot and there's a black mamba on you, you're already dead. Like, there's nothing you can do. It'll bite you, and you won't even make it out of the bed before you die.
Yeah. That's not. This is the reason why in those places they burn everything. So, like, when they set up a house, they'll burn down every freaking thing that's alive.
Oh,
Like
because
what-
it pushes everything away from the fire.
Yeah, when I moved here to where we live, that's the last thing we wanted to do. We wanted to, like, get rid of some of the trees. There was a lot of vines. There was nothing here but trees when we moved here. But I wanted trees and everything. But then there were some people that actually were from Guyana down the road, and they were like, "Oh, how come you didn't burn everything?" I was like, "What's wrong with you people?" They were like, "Just burn everything down." Burn it all down, because that's what they used to do in the olden days. Burn everything. If you wanted to live here, you burn everything. That gives you a couple of years, I guess.
I just saw a headline. I didn't read the whole story. I guess a 77-year-old woman here in Florida got attacked by a gator.
Yeah.
Is that
I
the
don't know
one
if
that
she
we
got-
talked? I talked about a while ago that they drug. No, this is recent. Is this recent?
This is
Yeah,
new.
this
This is
yeah,
a new
this
one.
is new. Yeah, that's new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's plenty
Crazy.
of things that'll eat your ass here too.
Yeah,
You just got to,
yeah. If you're not careful here in Florida,
Yeah.
stuff will kill you. It's not uncommon during the summer. You go for a hike to have a eastern diamondback sitting out there, and that'll kill your ass real fast.
There's spiders. There's
Rattlesnakes
all kinds of shit.
rattlesnakes will kill you real quick up in the mountains.
you just have to be aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
The freaking heat. The heat will kill your ass dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing that today to me. So
Yeah. You know, that's how it is. That's how it is, man. You know, everything's trying to get you. That's the law of the jungle.
Yeah.
You know,
You're never gonna make it out of this world alive.
the law of the world. Unfortunately, you know what? I still have. What's up? Go ahead.
There's a movie, something Joe in the volcano. What is that? What's the title?
Oh, wasn't that with Tom Hanks or something?
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
I have to look that up. Was that where there was like some hot chick that they took her up to the volcano? They were going to throw her in to appease the gods of the volcano.
I'm having a hard time picturing that actor throwing a woman into a volcano.
No,
Tom Hanks throwing a lady in a volcano? I'm just having a hard time with this one.
Maybe it's a different movie that Walter's talking about. Joe and the Volcano.
Sounds like a kid's book. Joe and the Volcano.
Joe versus the Volcano. Here it goes.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, Joe versus the Volcano, and it has Tom.
Oh,
Hanks
that's not Meg Ryan, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Meg Ryan.
dear.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan.
Oh dear.
When a hypochondriac learns that he's dying, he accepts an offer to throw himself in a volcano at a tropical island, and along the way there learns to truly live. Yeah.
And love.
And
Meg
love.
Ryan.
And then not want to be thrown in the volcano.
Nah, you ain't throwing me in a volcano alive. Nope.
Yeah.
That ain't the pit I want to get into. Look out.
Nope.
Meg.
Nope, not for me. Ain't happening.
Yeah. What's funny about that is Meg Ryan. There was a time in American history of Hollywood when Meg Ryan was the only chick that existed on the face of the planet. She was in every damn
80s and 90s.
Yeah, she was in every damn movie.
Yeah.
She's 60.
Yeah.
She's
I hate when
years
they do that. Yeah, I hate when they do that. Yeah, she's probably got mad plastic surgery. She probably looks like a cat lady right now.
Oh God! Don't look her up. She looks very bad.
Really?
Why do these women do this to themselves? Oh, she looks bad. She doesn't look good. She got some surgery done.
Yeah.
Got her nose
Stop doing
did.
that to
She don't
yourself.
look good.
Ladies, you could get old. Nothing wrong with getting old. Everybody gets old.
Yeah,
You
don't.
know?
Oh
Oh yeah, she's headed in that direction. In that direction, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't looking good.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Get old. Get old gracefully. You know, there's dudes like all kinds of ladies. There's some dudes out there that likes to bang the old ladies for whatever reason. You know, it happens, I guess. You know, so don't just be who you are. Be who you are.
Be all you can be. Like the U.S. Army. Be all you can be.
Well, no, I mean, I think this is like everyone looking the same. We're all going to wind up looking like cat people.
All right, so Meg Ryan was born a year before me, so she's 61. Okay?
61, okay.
All right. There's a lot of 61-year-old women. Nothing wrong with. I'm saying.
Oh, I see some.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Just don't.
Some
Just
bangers
don't,
out
just
there.
Don't, just don't contort your face into a plastic surgeon's dream. You know, where you look like the Joker, where they put the
There's nothing wrong with getting old, getting gray, and all that kind of stuff. It's all good. It's all good. There's no crime. There's no crime in it.
No
You can
crime
do it.
in that. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You know, it's the circle of life. You know.
Circle of life. Find yourself some young buck. That'd be a
Yeah.
circle of life. There we go.
Hey, you know, if it works for you, you know, if it works for you. So, 42 Chill said like Pelosi. Pelosi is not 60.
God.
She's way older than 61.
She's like
That ain't natural.
204.
Yeah.
She
Pelosi.
looks like if an alien, a super scrawny, skinny little alien came down and took over a human skin suit. That's what Nancy Pelosi looks like. Like they zipped her up from the back into a skin suit.
Have you ever seen the movie Mars Attacks?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
So in that movie, the woman in there has a dog. She has like a little chihuahua, and the aliens take her dog, right? Her little chihuahua, and switch bodies. They put
so
her
its head to the
yeah. That is what right there. That is what Nancy Pelosi is like
Nancy
an old
Pelosi.
version of that.
What's her name? That's
Yeah, the Sex in the City chick. I can't remember what. her
yeah,
name is
yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah. She needs yeah.
Oh man, I haven't seen this since I was a kid. This needs
Yeah.
to be rewatched.
And Pierce Brosnan is in there, by the way. One of my favorite James Bonds. Look, they chopped his head off too.
Yeah. She's on the dog body.
Yeah. That's what Nancy Pelosi reminds me of. She reminds me of a chihuahua. She has a chihuahua head. She's like a chihuahua on a person.
And an attitude.
Here.
Sure,
Have
reminds me
you
of an old lady.
have you ever seen the picture of what the woman with the dog looks like? Right
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
there. That's Nancy Pelosi right there, except she's got bigger fake boobies. Nancy Pelosi. Why? I don't know. For what reason? Those
by
are
the way, I got
wasted.
Marley hooked on Doctor Who. We started watching Doctor Who a couple days ago, and I've gotten her completely hooked on it.
The older ones or the newer ones?
The old new ones, not the old ones.
Okay.
The remake from 2005
Yeah, because Doctor Who goes back to black and white days.
to the 60s, or 50s.
Yeah.
No.
Who-
I started her on the ones from 2005, and we're moving through it. And because Marley is a sci-fi buff, she loves sci-fi stuff, so it is like right up her alley.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Walt?
Doctor Who is too woke now.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It is.
Yeah.
We are not going to go past season 5 or 6. I'll probably just stop after.
Yeah. Cruise Man is saying that the dudes who bang old ladies are called hip breakers.
Oh God.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that Lola hasn't seen. I was showing Lola last night the episode of South Park with the where they sewed them all together, the caterpillar.
He
South
signed
Park.
the contract with Apple, and they made the human centipede out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, like human centipede or centipede?
It's a human centipede. Yeah.
Yeah. I was showing that episode to Lola last night, and she was like, "What the hell? How do you look at this stuff?"
Okay, Gadu, there is vanilla paste or the cuttlefish. Cuttlefish and asparagus.
Walt, have you ever seen this? It's funny.
It's
No,
a
I
great.
haven't,
That is one of the best episodes of South Park.
Yeah, they sew these. The whole thing is that.
Kyle
Go ahead.
Kyle doesn't read EULAs, EULAs for like the software that you download or anything like that.
Right,
And
right.
everybody's like, "Oh yeah, dude, we all read those. Everybody reads those." And he's like, "No, nobody reads those. I don't read those." And it turns out in the EULA that he signed, Apple has the rights. He signed it on his iPad. Apple has the right to take you and stitch you to the anus of another human and turn you into a human centipede.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I didn't sign up for this. And they're like, yes, you did. It's in the EULA.
Yeah, they sew these people up ass to mouth.
Yeah,
So-
there's a horror movie based
About
on the
that.
concept. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really, the whole episode is really funny.
That's one of the top episodes of South Park.
Yeah, and then I think the one kid in there is pretending that he has an iPad. He took a
Piece of wood or something and painted it.
Yeah, he glued a piece of glass to it, pretending he had an iPad. And all his friends really have iPads, so he's trying to get his mom to buy him an iPad. That's just really
Fuck
funny.
me, Mom.
Yeah. He's like, Mom, why don't you buy me dinner? Put some lipstick
Buy
on me
me,
before
wine,
you
and
fuck
dine
me.
me before you fuck me.
Yeah.
It's one of the best episodes. That is
It's
a
total.
top
Lola's like, I can't believe that you actually look at this.
Oh, that is one of the best episodes of South Park, hands down.
Yeah. South Park
And
is
somehow I've missed it.
yeah, South Park is amazing. South Park has been around
is.
since 1997.
And it's still
I
not
know
woke. It's
exactly
still not
how
broken.
long it's been around. Somehow
Yeah.
I missed it. I don't know what.
Yeah. South Park is awesome, man. It's awesome. There's some really good. They have predicted some things that have happened in life.
Mm-hmm.
They've
Yeah, good
predicted
show.
some
Real
things.
good show.
Yeah, very good show. You should definitely. Lola's in the chat. She said that was gross.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
such a good episode.
It was funny.
I
It was
agree,
like,
Lola.
I'm eating the cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish and asparagus.
It's fun.
And
Walt,
these
it's
two
fun.
know all the words.
It's funny because the dude eats stuff and then he poops it into the other dude's mouth who eats it and then
You have
poops
to
it.
explain this. Oh no, that is the best. That is the best episode.
And-
Why won't it learn?
Yeah. And Apple owns, like, you sign, which everyone does,
Nice.
by the way. Everyone
Sign up, yeah. Who
Yeah,
reads those? Nobody reads those. You have
No.
no idea what's in it.
No, you just want your iPhone or whatever, and you don't
Yep.
know
Yeah,
you're
that's true.
you're agreeing to sign away your life. And then it
Yeah,
talks
everybody
about
wants their SBR.
Yep.
That's a good take on the whole SBR thing.
Yep. There's always strings attached.
Always. Nothing's
Yeah.
free in this world.
No, not at all. So be careful. Read all the fine print. We don't read the fine print. Who reads the fine?
I don't need no sneaky fine
If you
print.
read the fine print, put your hands up.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if I've ever read I've read the fine print a couple of times.
Yeah.
Specifically
On contracts,
when it comes to
I'll read it like
contracts. Signing for this house, I read every single page of legalese. But no, if you read those like games that McDonald's does or things like that, you don't actually have to buy anything to win. You can just mail off a letter and they'll send you a bunch of those like peel off stick on things.
Yeah, because that's raffle laws. Like
Yep.
Yeah, according to those laws, people have to be able to enter free, and there's people who actually make money from doing that. They just send out the postcards.
Yeah,
and
you
they
just
win-
send out a
they win
stamp,
stuff.
and the people have won lots of stuff because of that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
there's people who professionally win those kinds of things, and make like $1 million a year just winning shit.
Interesting story if you want to go back to the history of the Monopoly games, because you remember those Monopoly games at McDonald's were huge for a long time. The security guy who was in charge of delivering the winning pieces to the restaurants
Right.
stole all of them, and we're giving them to his friends.
Yeah, and they were cashing
Real
them
interesting
in.
read.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cashing them in, and they finally, the FBI, I think, tracked them down.
Right. Yeah. That was like a big thing that was out there.
It was a big deal when they caught him.
It's just like, that recently in New York City, this guy jumped from a building. There's a building in New York City that they call the Jenga building. It looks like a weird like Jenga type of thing. But anyway, it was the CFO of Bed Bath and Beyond
What?
that he jumped from the building, and it's because he was involved in a pump and dump scheme.
Did he lose all his money, or was he the one at the top?
He took a lot of money from people, and they were,
So they were coming back to get him eventually.
Yeah. So just look at the news. What's going on with Bed Bath & Beyond? Bed Bath & Beyond shares are down sharply after CFO jumps to his death. 12 hours ago, Bed Bath & Beyond to close more than 100 stores. Because basically the stock went from like $3 to $30, and then people were dumping it, so they pumped up the price, and then they dumped it. Who knows? Maybe he had like some sexy Italian, like how there's all those Italian people listening to our show.
What? Oh, that's wild.
So yeah, so maybe he had some hot Italian chick, and in order to like get away, he did this whole thing. I don't know. I'm
The
making that
lawsuit
up.
claims that Barnauls and others made misleading statements and omissions when communicating to investors regarding the company's strategic plans and financial conditions, and relayed the disclosures about holding and selling their own shares. Delayed about holding and selling their own shares. The suit also alleges that stakeholders shared fake revenue numbers and company plans of spinning off its Bye Bye Baby brand to fuel a stock buying frenzy. Holy crap! So he whew.
Yeah.
You can people don't understand. You can only get away with it for so long. It'll catch up to you eventually. All of it, everything will.
Yeah. You can't hide anything forever. So for whatever reason, man, he did a diver off of that. So yeah, crazy.
Good
things,
for him. I hope he did a somersault.
Crazy things happening. Maybe.
Somersault on the way down, or you're not a real man.
Okay. All right, Patrick. All right. Did you another crazy thing in the news? I sent it to you guys. We got like 48 seconds before it ends here. But did you guys see that thing in Argentina where the guy tried to shoot the vice president?
In the
Yeah, and the gun
click
jammed
and
or
no
something?
bang?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched the video and was just
Yeah.
like, Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Oh.
The loudest sound you'll ever hear. Click.
Was that click right
Yeah.
next, and it was right next to her head.
What was that gun? Was it a 1911? I don't know what it was.
I don't remember I didn't look that far into it. It was just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Literally dodging a bullet. Oh my god.
I bet you she crapped a couple of times.
I
there.
don't. Yeah, that's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
We're going to take this break. We're going to come right back here and wrap it up. Wrap it up. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com. Okay, so this might not be a 1911, Walt. This look at that. That looks
some
CZ?
sort of hammer-fired gun.
Is it a CZ, Walt?
I
probably
can't.
don't have
I can't pick anything out from that picture. I can't tell.
I know,
Yeah,
I can't
it's
either.
weird.
There's nothing
yeah,
there.
Yeah. At some point, I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing that actually, like, winds up. And I don't know if it's in. If anyone says what it is in the news, but it definitely misfired, and then they caught the guy who did it. But I don't see anything about specifically what it was. But yeah, it wasn't chambered or something like that. Crazy.
I'm looking at the video to figure out what it was.
Yeah. Crazy time. She's very lucky. That dude should have caught shots though. I don't know where the bodyguards were. Yeah, but definitely. Well, I don't know. Is that even a good thing? Who knows what's going on overseas with these people running these places? But
yeah, I don't know anything about their politics. Who
yeah,
these people are.
I'm assuming he's going to be strung up somewhere.
It would look
We
like
don't.
a 92 Beretta, some sort of Beretta 92 clone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I just looked at the video. That's kind of what it looks like.
And then I want to show this, and then we can wrap up here. But in the news they were talking about how they found the body of that woman that was abducted while she was jogging, and I guess they arrested the guy. The thing about it that I would say is, if someone's trying to kidnap you, you got to fight for your life, man. Don't go willingly.
Oh my God! Yeah, absolutely. You do not go quietly.
Yeah.
You gotta go full animal.
Yeah.
Animal mode, absolutely. Kicking,
Take
screaming,
out
biting,
eyes, nuts,
gouge
bite.
eyes, gouge. Yeah,
Scratch them,
absolutely.
gouging, screaming at the top of your lungs. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
that's a fight for your life right there. I just have to say that. Unfortunately, these kind of things happen. But yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Definitely death penalty. But yeah. Just bear that in mind, man. That when that happens, there's no easy way out of it. You got to, it's to the death.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. So, what is this? Oh, 42 Chill put up a link to that. So, to the Argentine thing. We'll probably find that out. We'll find out what happened.
Back in the old days, when the news came on, you used to hear about things like that, or you'd kind of know about there was political stuff going on in these other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Doesn't matter.
They don't really. Yeah, it doesn't
They
really
used,
matter.
they used to have bureaus, those things where people worked,
Mm-hmm.
in these different countries, and gone. All that stuff's gone now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Although I've seen like CNN is firing a bunch of its woke people, but who knows?
What's CNN? What's
Yeah,
CNN
yeah.
a network? Is CNN?
That's why they're firing all the woke people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
People
little
don't.
late.
People,
You know, about-
people don't look at that stuff.
They're about 20 years too late. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Listen, we got to wrap up here. I'm not doing any more shows this week. Got a lot of stuff going on. Got to catch up on work. Plus, I'm really very tired. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show. We'll be back next week doing stuff, and I'm still gonna be putting things out. I have a lot of things that need to get edited and go up and stuff like that. So you guys will see that over the weekend. I did a live with Walther. That's up there. It's on Stranger
Yes, we
Palooza.
did. Yes,
Yep.
we did.
And I would encourage everyone to go subscribe to Walter on Dirtfoot Racing so we can get him to 1,000.
Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out.
You're like
Damn
seven something. We got to get you monetized. But I'm gonna give these guys a chance to tell you all, how you can support them, what they have going on. Patrick, any videos coming out here?
YouTube.com/babyfaceP. A video went up today. A very, very helpful video that I think a lot of you guys that build side folding AKs will find very interesting. More coming. I think I'll have the test fire video next week, and we'll be done with that series. And then we might go dark for a little bit until we figure out our next thing. But yeah, babyfaceP or Instagram baby_faceP. Or I do need to do a video. The second video from the recent AK series got pulled from YouTube, and I got a strike. That is still available on Utreon. So if you want to go find that, it'll be on Utreon. I will eventually make a video to shuffle into the playlist telling people about that.
Right, there you go. Make sure you guys check out Babyface Pete. And Walter, same question.
I just put up a little video today about that TUSC pistol.
Yes,
I saw
that.
At your place last time we were out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to shoot it some more with some different ammo. I think it might have been.
That's on Safety Harbor though. YouTube Safety Harbor Firearms.
Yes, that's on Safety Harbor Firearms. Yes, on YouTube. Check that out. It's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Safety Harbor Firearms, and then there's Dirtfoot Racing on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and all that stuff is also on Utreon too.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But yeah. Check that out. I should have did a video of us taking apart your old lawnmower on Dirtfoot Racing, but
did you blew it up already, or what'd you do?
No, my dad came by the shop today and unexpected. I didn't know he was even coming by, of course. And we dissected most of it, took the engine off it. I'm going to try to fire the engine up off of it and see if the engine.
You cannot get away from junky small engines, can you?
It won't die.
Well, if the engine runs off of the mower, then there was some problem with the switches or something, safety stuff on the mower, causing it to run bad. And if I can run it off the engine, then it's a 26 horsepower engine. So who knows? Maybe we'll put a turbo on it or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. DCG says the TUSC did not look great.
TUSC functioned with its magazine from the factory, but that ammunition I was shooting was remanufactured stuff, and the TUSC recoil spring is really stiff. So I don't know if that had a part of it. I didn't bring any extra. I didn't grab anybody else's 9mm ammo, which I should have, and tried it out with something different. But next time we'll try something different.
We need to. I think you have a good collection of those guns now. We should probably do some kind of test on a bunch of them, or shoot them and see how they all function.
The Glock and the clock mags that I have, the Korean mags, we used them in the dagger test, and they work just fine. So it's not. I don't think it's the magazine. Maybe it's the magazine in that gun. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the jury's still out on that. Don't necessarily judge it by that. I think we need to do more stuff, But I mean that was what Walter was getting. Remember, we're talking about Walter who has ammo from like 1815 or something.
Yeah, when that volcano blew up, nobody was shooting, so I kept that ammo. Yes.
Yes, Walter. Walter likes to torture test by putting old ammo in there. So check out that video. All right, listen, I'm going to hit the end here. We're going to come back. Who's doing words of wisdom before we get out?
I got one.
Oh, Babyface has it. Babyface has it. Okay. Very cool. Let's do this. All right, guys, like I said, we're going to have no more shows this week. You can listen to the old stuff. We got a lot of old stuff out there. We appreciate you guys checking that out. You might have missed something. We're going to rip the audio out of this, throw it up on iTunes, all your favorite places to get your audio podcast from, including, you can get this from Audible. You could go to hankstrange.com, get it off the website, all kinds of places out there that you can find the podcast. Babyface P, words of wisdom.
Walter already said it, and it goes as a life lesson for everybody. There's no need to live next to a volcano. And that goes across the board for dating advice, for all of it. You don't live next to a volcano. It's not worth your time. It's exciting for a little bit, but it's not worth your time.
You live across the walkway from that pond where that 8-foot alligator is. That 8-foot alligator is watching your ass because he wants to eat you.
He's waiting for you to trip?
Oh, he'll get you.
And if he doesn't get you, he's going to get Granny or your dog. So, you don't have to live next to him.
You don't need to live next to a volcano. Just take that as life advice for all situations. Women, cars, all
don't
of it.
live yeah, don't live next to the volcano. Good one.
Exactly.
Good one. That should go on a T-shirt.
Excellent.
Yes, we're out of here. We're out of here, guys. We'll see you next week. Let me hit the buttons. If I can hit them appropriately. Here we go.